having to rely on somebody else who wrote faster than you but couldn't.
The finer things in life, man. Those are the finer things.
It wasn't legible
I remember
at
the
all.
struggle of going to the Scholastic Book Fair and not being able to get anything.
Oh, damn.
You walk around the lap and you're like, yo, I might just steal this big old eraser.
Yo.
See this eraser right here?
That's crazy.
This football eraser?
That's
crazy. Yeah, not the left and the right. Just
I remember, what else? There was a lot. That was, man, back then, we used to, like, all you needed for joy and fun was a tennis ball and a high wall.
That's literally it.
Red ass, bro.
That was not a fun game.
When you're throwing the tennis ball and if someone catches you, have to run to the wall before
they get,
They catch it.
That would be crazy if you play that. This like
get to the wall.
I just feel like the school that I went to that played that game, everyone was a baseball player, clearly. Cause
some
people were throwing and it was curving like soccer.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense.
Some people, you know what I used to be scared of? Like the people that come from Yard. Because they knew how to throw, yo.
Of course.
It was nothing to them. They cricket pitch you in your head with a tennis ball.
That's
crazy.
They threw stones.
Crazy.
And you gave him a tennis ball that's soft, that bounce.
But the hand still is heavy.
You know, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
The hand is still heavy.
Yo.
The way they come and take that.
Yo.
With the spit,
with the whip. Listen.
That's funny. But, I don't think these kids know how to, like, I think the generation is different. And the funny thing is, some people might look at our generation, the older ones, and look like, you guys don't know anything.
Yes, this is also true. But then at the same time, can we blame the people coming up when we are the ones who are their teachers?
No. No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
We are their teachers.
A lot of people are being taught by screens.
This is true.
Which is dangerous.
That's a bar.
I think we saw the getting taught by a chalkboard, being taught in books, and we also see the side of getting taught in screens. We saw both sides of it.
Three sides, if anything, yeah. Because it's like, the chalkboard, the projector. It's like the projector was there. No, it was chalkboard, then projector together. And then you said,
just digital screens.
Yo,
do you remember? Was peanut butter always illegal? Was allowed?
Illegal.
Was peanut butter always allowed?
To a point.
Like at one point,
there was a point it got banned.
I remember being allowed to bring peanut butter, and then I remember at one point you couldn't bring it.
Yes.
I don't remember what year that was.
It got banned.
Yeah, I know it got banned, but like I remember there's certain.
I want to say
there's like contraband if you bought it.
After 2005, I believe. Excuse me.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Okay.
That's the same year that they decided to remove teachers using red markers to correct.
Why?
Because it was an emotional thing, and it made harm to a child's psyche.
Some of these teachers were taking out their whole life on people. I'll tell you that right now. There's a teacher. I remember this. I just didn't learn. Had a hard time learning. I'm not the smartest person today, but I remember one time. You remember back in the day when you had to learn words, and you had to learn like when you had spelling bees, like spelling tests and whatever.
Right.
And learning the singular or plural, and you had like crosswords. You make crosswords, your own crossword, you pass it to a friend and they find it.
Okay, yeah.
So one time, for some reason, in my agenda, you have to write your agenda and your homework so your parents to see it, and your parents have to sign your agenda. That same night.
This guy's bringing it back, like,
Lord. Anyway, so what happens? I kept writing crossword instead of crosswords. No, crosswords, plural, instead of crosswords. And that teacher, she kept saying, like, Jamie, it's crossword, not crosswords. You got to take the S out. For some reason, it just never clicked. Never clicked. And one day, I think she just had a rough day at home. rough day somewhere, and then she said, Jamie, that's not crosswords. Da, da, da. This is crosswords. Flip, like fling all the crosswords. All I'm seeing crossword paper fly because she's passing it out, right? It's like, that's crossword. This is crosswords. All I'm seeing is paper. And I remember the time my agenda just watching it just flow. I didn't help her pick it up. That's one thing I didn't do, actually. I didn't help her pick it up. But I learned. I said, okay. The eraser, the Pentagon, what is it? The eraser instead of rubber. The pink eraser.
Pink eraser, yeah.
They didn't have pink erasers. Now I see it's all white. Remember pink erasers?
Yes.
Remember
Those were so trash.
Remember going to the
pink one?
Yes, they were so trash.
What was it, the dollar store?
They kind of, yeah.
Remember they had a dollar store when you had the white eraser and the gray side? And apparently the gray side was supposed to erase pen.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Yo, I'm just bringing you guys back. You remember like markers with the lightsaber? You stack them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I've done that at the time.
It was the finer things in life. Mm-hmm. And now these kids are...
I don't know, man.
It's funny.
On top with COVID too, like they gotta like
socialize.
The socializing got shot. Like
I don't think that's only kids.
Not shot, but like shot as in like, you know.
I don't think it's only kids, yo, because I think those 2-3 years of social distancing, like people are getting beat up with snakes.
Wait, what?
It was
Animals?
No, someone had like a.
I thought that was a belt. I saw it happen in Toronto.
Like a guy had like a nice sized snake paws,
and they're fighting.
And the guy was fighting another guy in the street, and
with a snake.
Yeah, he was hitting
snake.
He was hitting him like a belt, but it's a live snake.
I don't know if that guy was running from the pain or running from the snake. And then the cops pulled up, said to her, "Hey,
that's animal cruelty right there."
Of course it is.
No, but so I was looking at the comments in it. He got like 10 years. Animal cruelty, assault. No, they put him away. Like they shot him down.
Out the jump, no trial, no date, just straight out the... Did they say out the, like... For real?
No, he had 10 years, man. He's in the bin still.
No, like... No, hold on. Like...
Not you trying to catch yourself.
Like, out the gate, like, just 10.
Well, probably because, like... Cause
he had cases, but, like, I don't know if that's true, man.
No, because...
I mean, probably even also threatening somebody's life. The charges would have added up, right?
So wait, hold on. Yeah. A normal assault, I don't know if it's true. This is all alleged, but you're telling me assault that man boxed up somebody with a snake.
That's already animal endangerment off the rip.
How much is that charge? That's like 5 or something?
Okay, let's see.
This is
harassment charge.
Because I don't understand. Because it's like, how...
Harassment charge.
And you didn't fight it? Like, I'm not saying didn't fight it.
So the maximum penalty is 10 years in prison.
Just for
animals?
For harassment.
Just for harassment. But there are 3 types of harassment. There's verbal, physical, and visual.
So that guy was really physical.
But like the animal, the snake.
The
live snake.
Something like animal abuse. Now you get some time for that.
Animal abuse.
They really took
charges.
like
no, but but
up to 2 years in jail. Fines of $130,000.
Yeah, they don't play with that.
Let me ask you a question. Random thought. If you...
That's crazy.
Okay. Let's say you're in debt, right?
That's crazy.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you, okay, to get rid of this debt, you gotta spend some time in prison.
Mm-hmm. How much?
Would you do it? If it was like a day or 2.
Oh, like a day or 2 then, yes.
To clear your debt.
Yeah.
Like, no. What if it was like, let's say you're like 200,000 in debt or something. Like, they have a scale that says you're in debt.
Yes.
You got to pay the government because obviously that's what it does. Like they will send you to jail for that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people will be going to jail for fraud.
Yeah. Tax evasion for another one. Yeah.
Like child support.
Yeah, child support.
Like they know you don't have it, so they're just like go to jail. And you're like, but I don't got it.
It's not if you don't have it, they send you to jail. It's more like if you are intentionally trying to avoid it as much as possible and not take care of your children, you neglect, then you're going to jail.
In jail?
Yes.
because I don't got it, and then I'm gonna come out, and then you're gonna recharge me again.
Yeah.
I never understood that logic.
What?
Sometimes when it's like, you know what? You don't have it, but you're gonna go to hell because you don't have it. But I don't have it. You're gonna have more time because you don't have it.
I mean, why do you not have it though?
I mean,
That's the other part.
that is true.
But this
Right? If you're not going and seeking for employment, or you're not.
this ex-wife, she's asking for more than 50% of my paycheck.
Well.
In the area I live in called Toronto, they're asking for 3,000 abajibas a month.
Well. Should have thought about.
That's not their problem. That's not their problem. A lot of times, like, you should have thought about the person. You're the one that decided to marry.
Exactly.
Wow.
You decided to stick your pee-pee in this
You
pee-pee.
made that decision.
So,
That has nothing to do with us.
you
And you're
should
telling
have
us
figured
this
it
why.
out.
Yo,
Can you afford that?
these collection people.
Clearly not. I'm in jail.
You think collections people care? Mm-hmm. That's their job. I remember you say I won't be able to pay it this week. What do you mean you won't pay it? What are you trying to say? You're not going to pay it? Straight
Yeah, I don't like that.
Straight to the gate.
That I don't like. It's like,
get-
I
yo,
won't be
they get-
able to pay
they
for
get
it this
very-
week is different from saying,
I'm not paying at all.
I am not paying at all. I have the intention to pay.
I swear
just
they play
right
some
now.
tactics. They do some tactics on people, you know.
The way I wish I could take my hand through the phone and grip some people around their neck because they start doing that nonsense.
And now because it's COVID, they need to collect. So
Yo.
they get aggressive. Because I remember
But they're not allowed to.
one time a collection company called me, and it went to, like, the funny thing is, it was weird because it went to collection, but I was still able to pay the place. So I paid the place,
Right.
but I think it still got sent to collection.
That sounds like it's insured.
Oh,
I don't know what happened, but I paid the place, and the place, boom, I could get my service or whatever it was back. But the collection called me about it. I was like, oh, you still owe us? Da, 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 da. I'm like, well,
That's insured.
and I said, I already paid it. Said, you were supposed to pay me!
Whoa. Rudeness. Keep that
Because
out.
that means they bought it. Yeah.
Keep that outdoor voice.
Energy.
And I think that's what it is. These people buy it. What do they buy the claim, and then now they talk it
try to
down
get
and
it
try to
back.
make it back. Because, you know, these people, you know, what you pay for is not really what you need to pay for if you think about it.
Expand on that? No.
If someone can buy your debt, and then they can go, okay, you owe $2,000, right?
Okay.
Pay $1,600 and we're clean. Was that thing that was $2,000 really $2,000?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe there's another part of financial advisors or whatever knows how this game goes. Maybe that's just what it is. But to be honest with you, the collections. I haven't dealt with collections like that where they're aggressive. But I remember when I was going through it.
I had a whole person scream at me on the phone.
Screaming.
I said, ooh, I wish I had a recording device for you. I wish.
I remember the one in the States when they recorded the man. The man said a rude message because the woman sent a message back saying that, you know, I'm ready to do a payment plan. But I guess she had an accent.
Right.
And then the man was rude. The man said, da-da-da, and I'm going to call. There's going to be some problem. And, oh, by the way, it's not payment plan. It's payment plan. And I was just like, holy.
Yo,
Like, that is wild. It's like, are you getting commission off these people paying their bills?
Sometimes I think some of them do.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Some of them do, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, when it comes to collections is actually a good job, unfortunately.
Wow.
Is it really?
It really is. And sometimes people go into it to get their own debts taken down.
Oh.
Well, if you can... I mean, if there's a way that you can do that, I'm not endorsing it, but...
You think their life was on the line, though. That was the thing. The way they start getting aggressive with people.
I think that's scary when you just literally... That'd be a weird way to wake up in the morning, you're trying to pay bills and all that stuff, you look and your debt's just wiped. Like Jesus wiped the sins from, like, the earth. And people, like, from sinners, like, what, like, white as snow? Like, like, you'd be like, something's wrong. That would be weird.
If everything's gone like that?
You know,
You wouldn't trust it. You're just like... You're like, nah, this is too good to be true. Nah, let me call my bank right now. Nah, this ain't it. They're like, no. They're like, no.
No, you're good. I wouldn't even call my bank. I'm like, okay.
You're just
What do you do at
Back
that
to
point?
life. Back to life. Because a lot of people just work to pay debt most of the time.
This is true.
oh, that's
You don't work to save. Save what?
Yeah.
that's
true. And unfortunately, the Canadian system has created that.
Yeah, they created to the point. Yo, listen. They created certain things. You know what? I'm starting to get real annoyed with. Really annoyed with these stats and where are they coming from?
okay.
Where are these stats coming from? Like, when was it? Like, people are betting. I've heard this whole stat. Where is it? Let me find it. Where is it? I cannot find it.
Yeah, you were saying something about like Pierre Trudeau, allegedly.
Now, Pierre says, wait, hold on. He says that the government has lifted.
Yeah,
Wait,
Justin, not
this is
Pierre.
the same man that said, I did not force anybody to take the vaccine.
Yes.
That's hilarious last week. True, don't? I was like, what?
But at the same time, it's kind of like, technically, like, what did he, like, I didn't enforce you guys not to take the vaccine, my fellow Canadians. I've said that I wanted this Canada to be more safe. And I will ensure that Canada is more safe. I didn't say, you guys take the vaccine. I said, you guys be safe. And we will be taking protocols and mandatory decisions for you guys, my fellow Canadians, to be safe. Same man allegedly said, I don't know, maybe Bill C11 might block this pod. Who knows? But Pierre, Justin Trudeau says his government has lifted 2.6 million Canadians out of poverty.
2.6. That's not a lot. Because what is that? That's like what, downtown Toronto?
Wow, that's...
You can't even say downtown Toronto.
Because downtown Toronto is like what, 3?
No, Toronto as a whole is like 3, yeah.
So he got downtown Toronto out of poverty.
I mean...
Wow.
I'm
Sorry.
They said TTC is the most effective transit system in North America. That's one.
I mean,
we got an award for it being what? The cleanest, I think? What was that?
Now here's my question.
I gotta be fair.
Yes.
Technically, they're right. Except I heard Montreal's is really good.
Most efficient, they call it. The
Most efficient.
Yeah.
What is the criteria? That is my question.
Like
What are we basing this off of? The labels? They're visible? Like what exactly?
Someone talk to you next stop.
Right? Is it
Yorkdale
the
Station.
fact that we only have 2 lines in comparison to other places that have more than 2?
Why do we still have 2 lines though?
3. Sorry, 3. I forgot. One of the other subways up by Shepherd.
You mean the one they were building and then they said, nah, we're going to cut the project and we're just going to fill the rest of the tunnel
3.
with cement and everything.
The biggest problem I have with these things is where you getting your stats from. Like where?
I mean, but it goes back to criteria. What is the criteria?
What is the criteria? And when, like, sometimes when I hear statistics, oh, this thing is more affected than everybody else in the society. And it's like, okay.
How?
Where? Where is this happening? Where do you get your research from? And I think people are afraid of that challenge because when you check the research and you realize it's a skewed place because it's based off an agenda, or based off a take that you need to say. If you need to say Canada's residents are okay with the housing market, and then you look, where is the housing market being taken from? Like Forest Hill, where the people already got it, or certain places where the people already got it.
Right.
But the other communities that, you know, like Marlee, where you said that they're going to break down for condos and displace those people, allegedly, for what? And then they can't get back to the places because obviously everything's going to be higher.
Yeah. Oh. And
Is that your stat?
And the square footage is smaller. So you had a nice space in your apartment,
But you probably may lose about 200 to 300 square
Square
feet.
footage, man.
lot of
That's a
people's-
big deal. Like,
Yo, the things people are paying for like a little condo space, like the kitchen's in the bedroom.
which is the thing off camera I was showing you. Like,
The
spot-
kitchen is in the bedroom.
Like you walk in. So the spot I was showing you guys earlier, like you walk in, there's 2 bathrooms. Yeah, that's cool. But then you go in the main room, the kitchen's bam, just right there. You're like, oh, okay. And then you get that's it. So it's like, oh, so if I were to live here, I would have to put my bed over here. Maybe put a divider. Oh, I can't put a divider. There's like a big ventilation there. Oh, okay, well, I guess my TV's going to go here.
Put the outlets on the opposite side.
Like, right? Everything's
You know
just
what I mean?
there.
A
Like,
lot of these places, it's one of those things where it's like you can't even stub your toe.
you can't
You can't even
stub
get
your
comfortable
toe.
to the point that you stub your toe, because everything is just like
Space,
pinch.
like, or pin, yeah.
You stubbed it more than once. Or every step.
Have you noticed lately there's no chandeliers?
Chandeliers.
Listen, there's a lot. If you're
That sounds
gonna bring it
luxurious
back,
to me.
I
It
never
actually
understood.
isn't.
There's a lot of things I don't understand. Chandeliers, I'm not really understanding of that. Never really understood the whole chandelier thing.
Hanging lights.
Hanging lights, chandelier. I never understood why. I don't know cultures, Caribbean culture. I would say the China set, the big dresser with all the plates,
And you better not touch those
and
plates.
you better not touch them plates.
Better not.
I don't know what pandemic you open the gates for those plates, but they're there. Olympic cups, McDonald cup, whatever cup that's like a old cup, it's in there and you can't touch. Go over there and try to touch it and see what happens.
It's history, man. It's history. And
And you know, to be fair, yeah.
it is what it is.
I think I have a 7-Eleven cup. I got a WWF
You know
cup.
how heavy.
Macho Man, shout out to you.
You know how heavy that is.
The hutch, yes.
Wait, he's not alive. Rest in peace.
You know how heavy that is.
Yeah.
With
Those plates have a
whole-
weight, and that's the thing. Some of those plates, they probably have more weight than the plates that we have nowadays.
We check out the
Like the cups. And
cups, yeah.
The cups are like maybe a 1/4 inch thick.
those mugs.
Now these things are like, yo, you drop them in the sink,
That's it.
They
like,
break. Yeah,
and that's it.
that's true.
Quality over quantity, I guess.
This
That
is,
is-
again, what we chose.
That's what we chose. That's unfortunate. That's
Or this could just low-key be that all the resources are running out. But then again, that seems a
shoot.
little scary. But, this is
Are the
why.
resources running out? Let us
This is
know.
why.
You know, it's a funny thing. And this is the problem I have, because they were talking about the ozone layer back in the day. Mm-hmm. We need to recycle for the ozone layer. Cause
And up to now, have we heard about it since?
the ozone layer is fine.
I heard it.
I heard it just grew back.
It fixed itself.
No.
Because people forget Earth is a living organism. So.
Yes.
And funny is when the pandemic kicked off, because for that time period no one was outside like that.
Right.
It just went and just.
So it says
this-
we are the problem.
And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on in this world I just don't understand. Like, there's all these different statistics, all these different missions, motives, objectives, agendas, whatever you want to call it. But the one big thing that I realize is when you challenge or question, and you don't choose a side, it's a battle, it's a fight. You're a villain. Because you don't know any better.
I mean, that's textbook Bible right there.
Yeah,
If you're a
it
religious
is.
person.
It is.
If
It
you
is.
choose to sit on the fence,
You can't be lukewarm. Yeah.
You can't be lukewarm, but
you're already on the other side.
it's one thing if you knew what side is doing and the other side is doing. But if you don't know what side is doing and you say, hey, can I challenge it? No, you're product. No, you know what I mean? You need to listen to me because the world listens to me. And if you don't listen to me, it's a problem. Because the world listens to me. But anyway, it's neither here or there. Let's get to this relationship question.